Good morning and welcome. Happy Saturday from California. Hi, I'm Bob Pace. I'm your host. I'm here to talk about CPS, how to fight them and keep your children or get your children back. It's a horrendous or horrible experience I know you all are going through. I've been there myself. Um, this is a podcast that is produced by Vincent W. Davis Associates. It's a law firm with many attorneys that specializes in many areas. Um, you found us on Facebook, and we're broadcast on YouTube using the StreamYard application. Um, wow. Good morning.
Yes, hello?
Yeah, hi, welcome. Who's this?
Oh, this is Ellie Ortega.
Yeah,
Oh,
glad.
it's actually live?
Yeah, you're now live on my broadcast. I was just starting it, so I was just telling the
Okay,
listeners.
nice. I have questions.
Sure,
Lots of
yeah.
questions.
Hold on one second. Let me finish my brief introduction. Just bear with me. What city and state you
Sure.
from?
I'm from Carson, California. Close
Okay,
to LA.
local. Okay, great. Well,
Yeah.
to all your listeners right now, we have a guest this morning, which is fantastic. I had one lined up this morning, but they're having some issues, so they can't be on the show. But I have a backup here, and this is
Nice.
Ortega from Carson, right?
Yep, from Carson.
Okay, Carson, California.
Okay.
Okay, now,
So here we go.
well, wait. Before
Go
you
ahead.
go, let me finish this. Okay. I just have to say a couple things. One thing I have to tell about my rule number one. That's very important, and that's something that we don't think about when we're involved in CPS. But CPS, you're going to get involved with an agency that is very dangerous.
Yeah.
They've been around, and I'm talking to you and everybody. They've been around for over 150 some years. It started during the Civil War in 1853. They've been some help with children, but I'm sad to say that the problem they've had since the beginning and through 150 years has been something called money. Greed has gotten CPS. They do this CPS cases where they say the children are right away in imminent danger no matter what the allegations are. They take away the child, they put them in foster care, and they collect money till they're 18. And I'm talking about big money, something like over $20,000 a month per child, and it's been an ongoing problem. And if you're going to get open heart surgery, and you're going to get a professional doctor to do it, you're not going to be a lay person and try to open your heart or a beginning doctor or like that. You need someone that is professionally trained, and we have an attorney that can help because you got to find an attorney for this mess. I tried to do it for a year and a half, and I had no luck. At all. And so you need an attorney like you need a doctor in open heart surgery. This CPS is so bad, it's a spaghetti of nightmares. They draw you in, they deceive you, they're lying. And I can say that loud because that is true. That's my experience and over 100 some people that they are not what they're supposed to be. And they will trick you. They're tricksters and so forth. And if you can picture Alice in Wonderland, falls in that rabbit hole and hits all those doors and all those weird cards and everything. That's what CPS are like. So I'm telling you, we have, I tell everybody you need to find an attorney. You should start with a list of 10 dependency law attorneys. This is family law. So you need to get a family law attorney. And so you got to find at least 10 of them. Hi there, Eva Aguilar. I don't know what city and state you're in, but I'm glad to see you there. So you need to get, um, a list going, and I'm going to help you with that list because after you get your list of 10 people that are family law attorneys, then what you want to do is that you want to narrow it down to five that are involved with uh, CPS. Attorneys have fought CPS and won and got it back. And so I'm going to give you a name of an attorney to start with. His name is Vincent W. Davis. And he is offering a consultation right now for 30 minutes for $49.99 or $50. You call 888-888-6582 and tell them that Bob Pace sent you, and then schedule your time with them. It's well worth investment because he'll talk to you about the strategies of fighting CPS and getting your children back. And if you like him, you can retain him. His fees very reasonable, and he does work in Southern California, but he also does Northern California and all the 50 states. So just call in to 888-888-6582. So that is my rule number one. You need to get an attorney, and you'll see why, because we have a guest that she pretty much will reinforce what I'm saying. Now, also, if you want to be on this live podcast, I do this thing 14 shows a week, 7 days a week. I'm on at 10 o'clock in the morning to 1 hour Pacific Standard Time. I'm on again at 7 p.m., 1 hour Pacific Standard Time. The only exception to that is that I'm starting at 11:30 on Sunday. 11:30 on Sunday. I think there's a lot of church services going on and so forth, but I'll start about 11:30 on Sunday. And just telling you heads up there. But if you want to be on the podcast, we have a great producer. Her name is Grace, and she knows how to do this podcast really well. I really thank her over and over and over. You write her at grace@vincentwdavis.com. That's grace@vincentdavis.com. That's the lower part of the screen. And ask her to be on one of my 14 podcasts. I don't care, morning or afternoon, Sunday, whatever you pick, and that's yours. But I'd love to have you on. And lastly, we love to have text messages from people. All I ask is your name, the city, and the state you're calling from. And if you're from another country, that's fine, because I've had Australia, Canada, United Kingdom, Ghana, and Mexico text in a message requesting things. So this is open to CPS, is a worldwide problem. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our guest speaker. Go ahead and introduce yourself and about your case, and start at the beginning.
Okay. Yeah, my name is Ellie Ortega. This is actually my partner's case, but I've been searching help, and I finally found you guys, and I think that maybe you guys can send me in the right direction.
Well, welcome.
So yeah.
Now, are you the one going through the experience, or is this a friend of yours?
Well, no, it's me and her. It's my partner and it's her niece. But I've been through it from the beginning, and
okay,
I want to help her.
All right.
And I think she's asleep right now, but I found this.
Okay. All right. So they're not your children; it's your partner's children, right?
Yeah, my partner's brother's child.
Okay, your partner, brother, child. Okay, child. so it's your in-laws, or what do you want to call it? Okay, so it's a brother that is going through the CPS matter with a child. How old is the child?
The child's a baby. It's not even a year old.
Okay, and then is this brother married or in a partnership, or what kind of relationship does he have with the mother?
No, so the mother and the father of the child, they lost rights to the baby. It was taken by CPS. There was drugs involved. And I guess when the baby was born, the CPS took it right away.
Well, that's not supposed. See, the thing is, I'd like to intercept this because I was talking to somebody last night. You see, when you are in a birthing room or in the hospital, police and social workers, I don't care if the hospital has a full staff caseworker, they need to be elsewhere. because that birthing room is for family members only, or that hospital. And you can ask the doctor or the director of the hospital, please remove these people and don't speak to caseworkers or police people. I mean, unless there's
Yeah.
imminent danger, like a shooting going on or stuff like that. So the reason why that baby's taken is that CPS has gotten out of hand. They'll go in there for any reason, and it could be maybe the mother tested positive with drugs. Well, if that is the
Yeah. Yeah.
case,
Something like
that
that.
is that's not right. They have the right to do it, but they have a thing called due process. They need a court warrant to remove a child. They need a court
Mhm.
order to have that removed. And so they remove a child no matter what and put them in foster care. So did your um, the
My niece.
brother
You can say my niece.
um, that's okay.
Oh yeah.
Your did your brother not the brother, okay, the man, I'm trying to think of
My
his,
brother-in-law.
yeah,
My
your
brother-in-law.
brother-in-law, okay, did your brother-in-law adopt the child? Was he a foster care parent?
No, no. He has the regular parents. He was in a regular home. He fell into drugs and I guess the mom and the dad of the baby are both in the street and
Well, no, I'm not talking
he
about the bad parent, but how did the child come in his hands? How did your brother-in-law get the child?
no, he never had the child. Nothing. He's never had the child.
Well, why is
The
he
mom came
involved?
first.
Why is he involved?
Well, he's not involved. It's the auntie, my partner's auntie. The auntie tried to get
Okay, I'm getting confused now. Now we got an auntie. Okay, this is it's okay. I know you're trying to help, but I'm also trying to understand so other people there can understand. Um,
Yeah.
so uh, this okay,
We can start from the beginning.
yeah. Let's start
How
from the
everything
beginning.
happened.
So there's this man and woman have a child, and they're both on drugs, or she's on drugs. They took away
Yeah.
the child. Where'd the child go? It went into foster care with CPS, right?
Yeah. CPS and your
Right.
caregiver.
And then how did the child get to your auntie or brother-in-law, or how did the child get to them?
No, the child hasn't got to any of us.
Oh, then how come you
So it
guys are
hasn't got to.
interested in that child? Are they family members, this woman that was on drugs?
So okay. So the woman that was on drugs.
Right.
I'm not sure. So okay, I'm gonna start from the beginning. So this man and female had a baby. The male is the brother to my partner. She told him, "Hey, I got this girl pregnant. I think it's mine." So and my sister, I'm sorry, my partner and him have a close communication. She had a close communication with the mother through text messages and stuff, and she was like, "I'm pregnant. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to take care of the child." So she would keep us updated before all this happened.
Okay.
So this was May of 2023.
All right.
When the baby was born, May 2023. Okay, so the baby's born. We got she told us, "Hey, I'm about to have the baby." So we got like a bag ready, to for the welcoming of the baby, and we were on our way to the hospital. So she stops answering our phone calls. She didn't let nobody in the room. We didn't know what happened. We weren't sure. Well, we were involved the whole time, but we didn't know what happened with the baby. Anything, nothing. So then 3 weeks, we're trying to call the hospital, we're trying to call everybody. Finally, we get a hold of a social worker, and then she told us that the baby was taken away because the mom was positive and the baby was also positive.
Yeah.
So now the baby is in this CPS care, and my partner and I start looking like how to get placement, how to do all that, and we are. So how things go or whatever.
Right. Well, what about the father? But you got to back up again. Now, what is the relationship of the father to you guys?
My partner's brother.
Okay, so your partner's brother. Now, do you have any children yourselves?
Yeah, my partner has a child. She has a 13-year-old.
Okay, so you have a 13-year-old. So you two have a children, and then your partner's brother.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
is the one that thinks he's the father. Now, why would not the child go with the father?
Well, he's in the street and he's not involved in the
Oh,
child.
well, they need to
Nothing.
right away. This is a big flag there. That CPS worker needs to know that there's a biological father interested in that child.
Oh yeah, he's biological. So they
Right.
somehow got
Well,
a hold of him.
yeah, technically, when CPS gets
Uh-huh.
children, they try to place them with the biological mother and father. If they're not together, they put it with the father or the mother, whoever's um more how can you say it, more stable. Now,
Yeah.
does your partner's brother have he's a street person? He's on the street, right?
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
he can't see. This is the problem: is you're gonna have a big hurdle there because CPS is not going to give that child to the biological father because he has no home. Does he have a job?
No.
Okay,
Nothing.
with no job and no home, he won't qualify
Yeah.
to take care of that child or even get an adopted child. He has to get off the street. Could you and your partner take him in? Could he live with you
Um.
guys?
We can take him in and stuff. But I think he lost I guess his I don't know. I'm not really sure, but him and so the mother and him don't have any more rights, and the baby is gonna be placed in Arizona.
Okay, wait a second. Now you've jumped forward because I'm
Yeah,
back at
move
May
forward.
20. I'm back in May of 2023. I'm not in the
Okay.
what's been happening
Oh, so
since then.
at that
So
time.
I'm just trying to understand the picture because this is how typically CPS works. Now there are
Mhm.
case workers at the hospital, and I think it's wrong what they're doing there. Any mother that's brought in, they're going to be tested
Mhm.
for drugs. Okay. And if you test
Yeah.
positive, the caseworker of the hospital will take the child. Will take the child. And that's
Yeah.
wrong because they should have a warrant before they take a child. And
Yeah.
people don't know the law. Okay. Now, the biological
Yeah.
father, since he's on the street and no job or anything, apparently they're not going to talk to him because has he talked to them at all, CPS in the beginning?
He has not really talked to them. Oh, he went to
Okay.
jail. He went to
You,
jail.
oh, well, he's
So you know, he went to
incarcerated.
jail.
Well, that's
Yeah,
the
but
third strike. If you're incarcerated, yeah. If you're incarcerated, you're homeless, don't have a job, your chances of taking care of the child are very nil. You can still fight for it, but you got to get your jail time served or whatever you're convicted of. And you need to get that done, and then you get a home and you get a job. But the sad part
yeah.
is that child's going to be put in with foster care. And I think that's what's happened since the mother. Well, here's another thing. Is the mother homeless?
Yep. He's
Does the
homeless.
mother have a job?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
Is the mother incarcerated?
She is not incarcerated.
Okay. You see, she could, if you talk to the mother, could
Mhm.
get that child before he gets adopted. Of course, that had to be done way back in May. Because
Mhm.
you let all this time go before someone expressed an interest, what should have happened. And of course, no one has the money at that time. You should have got an attorney. Now, there is a public
Yeah.
defender, and she should have gone to court, dependency court, about the child being terminated. And she probably didn't care, didn't know what was going on. And there's a public defender that's given, and the public defender is terrible. They are not really dependency lawyers, family law lawyers, and they have very
Yeah.
little experience, and they won't fight for. And especially the mother is not showing any interest. It sounds like both these parents didn't really
Yep.
care about the baby, and so it's the best news. That's what the Child Protection Service is for neglect or abuse of children. In
Yeah.
that case, that'd be neglect. How can you, if you don't have a home and you don't have a job, how can you get that child, the
Yeah,
diapers
because
and
there is
food and
no
stuff? And
situation.
so,
Yeah.
okay, so meanwhile, if did you express an interest, you and your partner,
Yes.
about adopting that child back in May?
Yes. Yes. We right away. I found a way to reach
And
the,
what did CPS tell you?
so CPS was like, okay, just try to get RFA approved, be ready for,
Right. So
that's basically what they told me.
did you get approved?
Yeah, we've been approved. We've been approved since
Okay.
back
So
in
why are they
September.
sending the child to Arizona if you've been approved and you're in California?
Oh, okay. So here it is. So the baby is special needs. She has a cleft palate, like a hole between the nose and the top of the mouth, and she can't really like eat normally.
Okay, but
And
can the surgery be done later to correct that?
yeah,
Yeah,
yep,
okay. Good.
of course,
Good.
yep, yeah.
Good.
So then, my partner. Oh, so my partner's been going to all the hearings that they've been having. She's been following it. We got the baby's attorney. We have the baby's attorney information. So we call her and be like, hey, when's the next hearing? Hey, when is this? Blah blah blah. We were thinking that we didn't need an attorney. That everything was looking fine, and that's where we made the mistake. And I found out through your videos that.
Yeah.
That's where
I'm really sorry. Yeah, I feel for you because I'm understanding the picture of this is that you see any child that has special needs.
Social workers.
Yeah. Any child that needs any child that needs special needs, which that child does, social workers don't want to deal with that child. And they would really want to have somebody like yourselves because I've had so many parents on here that have talked about their ADH child or the special needs child, and they take the child for a couple months and they can't take care of it. They give it back to the mother or the grandmother or whoever the case would be because special needs takes a certain kind of individual because that's something you have to sacrifice your life because it's like taking care of assisted living, like your mother's dying and stuff. And so it is a special needs there, So I admire you guys for doing that and you've been approved. Now, what happened? How did it get from May 23rd? You guys are interested, and now today is the 24th of March. It's on Easter weekend. How did they get to Arizona?
So now we're back in September. We're approved. We went to a hearing. I think it was so they pushed the court pushed the hearing, or they were considering me for placement, but the judge said she had incomplete paperwork, so she jumped it from September all the way to like January January 22 or something. I can't recall. Because she had incomplete paperwork from CPS, so she jumped it.
What do you mean she jumped it?
So she pushed the trial until January.
Oh, okay. So she delayed the trial because CPS didn't have the paperwork.
Yeah, she didn't have complete paperwork.
What was she missing?
Was in consideration.
What was she missing?
I'm not sure. Nobody was talking for us. CPS was just not relaying information. But I can tell you something. So one of the reasons why we just found out on Thursday that the baby may be going to Arizona. I guess my partner was she was getting visitations every Friday. She goes and she sees the baby every Friday since I think back in May, June, maybe July. She got approved to visit the baby every week, every Friday.
Your partner?
Every Friday. Yeah. Okay. So she has approved visitations to go see the baby in a monitored visit?
Monitored visit, yes.
Yeah.
That's a good sign. That is a good sign. That's a good sign.
Yeah, so we thought everything was good, right? We were like, it's going our way, but we still didn't have an attorney. So
wait a minute.
We come to the trial.
Yeah, okay. It's because you don't have a public defender because you're not connected to the case really. So wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a hard one because you're not eligible for a free public defender because you're not connected you are connected to the case, but in a different realm there. So you're right.
Yeah. I guess my partner, like during the time of the doctor visits, my partner would visit and stuff. She made a comment like, "Oh, maybe in the future, like when the baby has, is healed or whatever from the surgery, she can probably have mashed potatoes or something like that, She's thinking about the future. She sees herself pushing the baby like to the park in a stroller, and she cares for the baby.
Yeah.
She's thinking about the future. So I guess the caregiver relate that information over to CPS. And kind of made her look bad, like, oh, she's talking about feeding the baby mashed potatoes, and the baby can't even eat. Like,
yeah.
Like, so then they used that against her, because we just found out this Thursday, because they weren't even giving an opportunity for my partner to talk, and then we don't have an attorney, so so she got up and she's like, why am I not being considered for placement, like in the middle of the trial? And I know that's probably not right, but she wanted like something, So they told her the reasons why, and one was because she mentioned something about feeding the baby, something that she was not supposed to at that time. And then they also mentioned that she was not willing to leave her work or whatever after we made numerous phone calls, and we talked to the social worker, and we told her that my partner is willing to leave her job. She's willing to quit. She don't care. She wants the baby. And the social worker claimed that she is not willing to leave her job. So I don't know if it's like false accusations or what, but the CPS is just lying.
Okay.
She's saying that my partner is not transparent with the relationship of her brother, which we're not sure what she means by that. They talk on the phone, they text, she sends money to him or whatever. I don't know if that affects anything, but yeah, here we are, and so that's why she is not being considered for placement anymore. And now there's another family who is a family friend of somebody, a family friend of the grandmother, I think, in Arizona, that is going to be considered for placement.
Wow.
That's where we are now.
Now,
yeah.
Why are you okay? Your partner is the one that wants the child, right?
Yes.
Do you want the child yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
We all
So
want the child.
you both want the child. So you guys are a domestic couple, right? You live together, right?
Yes.
And you have one child yourself, right?
Yes.
Okay. So because your partner said something about mashed potatoes, I mean, I'm trying to understand what was wrong about saying something about mashed potatoes.
That's what I'm saying, and that's what they're using against us. Like, I just can't believe it.
Mashed potatoes.
We're trying to get an attorney and see if it helps.
Yeah. Now,
I'm trying to see what you guys
have they now say you're no longer, I mean, it doesn't make sense to me because you've expressed an interest. You have a child, so CPS must be comfortable with you and your partner and your child, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you have a home, you both are working, and you can provide the care for this child, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And my father, who is retired, lives with me as well, who is in the home all the time.
Okay.
And
so
we've all been fingerprinted. We've all been
so this family home, how many people live there? Just 3 of you? 4 of you.
No, it's my partner, her sister, who's a nurse, her dad, and our child.
4 of you then, and yourself.
Yeah.
Well, 5 of you.
Yeah.
5 of you. So you're a family of 5. Yeah. You have a stable home. You have a room for this child that you want to bring in?
Yes. We have the crib in there. We have everything.
Okay. All right. So, and you want to take care of it. And so just because you said something, I still understand. What else was said besides mashed potatoes?
Mashed potatoes, and then that my partner was not willing to leave her work to take full care of the child, which is false because she told numerous times to the social worker, like, yeah, I'm willing to quit, and my employer is willing to work with me. Like, as long as I let him know, he doesn't care. You know, it's their
Yeah.
employer.
Okay, let me take a
So as soon
moment
as
right now. Hold on one second. I got two text messages come in. One from Eva Aguilar, who's from California. I need a little bit more explanation what you want me to answer you. You're talking about a protest, I believe, at the Capitol. You're talking about in Sacramento about human rights. So I need to know what you want from me or what the question is, Eva, and I'll try to answer as best as I can. Um, Also, I have Sabrina, who's from San Francisco, California, that has a 1 year old daughter. Let me put that up there so everybody can read with me there. Um, she has a 3 year restraining order against her father. So the father of the child has to stay away for 3 years. She has custody. I now have a CPS case because they said I can call the police, but it's emotional abuse. I don't know what she means by I can call the police if my 1 year old is around. I don't understand if somebody is abusing. I believe this is a load of a, okay, I believe this is a load. Why do I have a case and what am I supposed to do? Well, I don't know why you have a case because you haven't really told me what the emotional, I mean, is emotional abuse by you, the person that has a restraining order? And what if your 1 year is around? I mean, I need a little bit more clarification, Sabrina, to help you. So if you could write more, that would be great. Okay, back to you. Back to you, ma'am. I'm sorry. I don't mean to jump around, but I try to make this podcast. And you're remarkable because you called in really quick. Because usually I have to advertise about my office number to be a guest on the show, and I'm glad to have it because your case is different only because the norm uh, for partnerships is usually, well, a mother is a male and a female, or it's a partnership of uh, like in your case, it's two women raising a child, and I don't think our society is at that point now because I think we've pretty much come around that. And Eva was talking about something happening at the Capitol about human rights, but I don't know if that's about CPS. I need to stick on CPS matters. I'm not here to talk about other alternative lifestyles or yay or nay on this or that. I mean, I do sometimes talk about whether you need to abort your child or not abort your child and stuff like that, but I like to keep it on the CPS matters. So we have a Sabrina that has something with the police and emotional abuse. I don't know what the case is more about there. So, Sabrina, if you could tell more on that, I will help you there. Thank you for texting it. Now, back to you in your case. So, there's been a change of circumstances with CPS recommending that your partner cannot take the child um, in the home. See, I don't understand. Shouldn't it be the partner and you? Shouldn't both of you be adopting that child?
Yeah.
I mean, you are in a relationship. You're a partnership.
Yeah.
You're what's considered domestic partnership, I guess. You live together. That is called domestic partnership, and they don't define what sex it has to be. It's just two people living together. That's domestic partnership, and there's a lot of benefits that are starting to come in and so forth there. But well, has she said anything negative about you, the CPS worker?
No, nothing negative about me.
Okay.
She has not mentioned anything negative about
Right.
me.
And when was this? When was this mashed potato thing started? When all that start?
This started back in, I think, maybe like end of the year, which is August, maybe not October, around that time.
Okay. Why did you guys not address it? Why did you not address it in October and um, ask the social worker some questions, or did she shut up on you in October?
So she, we asked so we were always asking, like, when are we getting placement? When is it going to be placement? So she let us know that maybe by, she let us know, I think, almost end of the year, which was August, like, hey, she told my partner, hey, we're not considering for placement right now because of the mashed potato thing.
Okay, now stop right there. At that time, did you guys question why you're not considered placement at that time? And what was her answer? What was her answer? What was the reason for not placement?
The mashed potato thing.
Well, could you maybe clarify a little bit? Is she worried that you don't have the skills to feed a young child or something?
Yeah. Yep.
What is wrong? What is wrong with mashed potatoes? Is she on a liquid diet, the child?
She was because of the cleft palate.
Right. I understand that she's on a liquid diet. So why would your partner say something about mashed potatoes? Because mashed potatoes is not liquid.
Yes, they were asked. The doctors asked, like, in the future, and then they were also not disclosing like all the information. They were just saying that she had a cleft palate or this and that. So then, and then they're not disclosing anything. Actually, they have not disclosed if she's on liquid diet or not. They were just not telling us anything because they don't have to, because we're not. I guess we're not like the parents, or they weren't disclosing a bunch of things.
Yeah.
And until my partner went to the doctor, and I guess they were talking. She was asking, like, well, what can she eat in the future? Like maybe like in the future, like, can she have like mashed potatoes or like, so she was asking like the doctor for things, but the caregiver related to the CPS worker told her that she, which is like false, like not false, because she mentioned mashed potato. But they just made a big deal about like her like asking like, well, what can she like have in the future? Can she eat mashed potatoes or like, because
the soft foods would be, but in a cleft with an opening, it has to remain a liquid diet. I mean, I'm sorry, that's what it is, and they're being harsh because maybe behind the scenes you don't know what CPS workers are thinking. They're very deceiving. They let you string along. They let you string along. Yeah, and
that's what they've been doing as well.
And they still are letting you string along. Okay, what you can do is that have you heard of a motion 388?
Motion 388?
Yeah, I've talked about it on my show. Have you heard of it? Okay, what it is you can have a court hearing to discuss with the judge about this new development. There's been a change in circumstances. A 388 in California is a 388. You look it up on the Google at 388 motion. It's when there is a change in your situation with your plan, and you have the right to have a hearing within 30 days. The problem being is you don't have full custody of that child, and you're not the biological parents, and I don't know if a 388 would help you. It gets the court's attention, but the court, somehow you may have missed it, but somehow between May 23 and now, they may have already got complete custody of the child, meaning the parents, maybe the brother of your partner, or the brother's, the biological mother has given up their rights to the child. If they gave up their rights, their medical rights, and they terminated the rights to the child, if CPS has full rights, you won't stand a case in court because you're not the biological parents and you don't have custody of the children. So a 388 may not help you. It may not help you. You can try, but you really have a really bad situation there. And I'm not trying to discourage you because, I'm really sorry this has happened like that. But apparently CPS had some misgivings. They're not telling you, being front about it, and they don't want to hurt your feelings or whatever they're trying to do it. They're hiding something. Because if you're talking about feeding a child in the future and maybe soft foods might be possible, that's possible if they have the cleft taken care of. But it's not a way to terminate I mean, to stop you wanting to be adopted the child. Now, this child maybe has a
Yeah.
better family structure in Arizona. I don't know what the structure is in Arizona. You said there's a grandmother
Yeah.
involved. There's things like that. You see, you're kind of related to the child, but you're not really. There's no genes that are related to the child. The grandmother would have relationships because your partner brother, yeah, your partner has genes that are in your brother. No, are they in your, no, no. See, that's the thing is, yeah. See, your partner has no biological genes connected to the child because your brother and your partner have genes from their parents, but there's no
Mm.
connections with that child. So there's no, so that child has the child has original mother and father and the grandparents and people related to them, family members. Your partner is a family member. Don't get me wrong. There, it's a you know
Mm.
your partner's a family member, but it's this is the problem is with the courts, and I'm sorry to tell you that the judge probably won't entertain a 3-8 motion. You can file it and see what happens. You can
Yeah.
file it. You just
So
got
even if like she's the auntie, she there's not like
well,
a relation.
it's a family member, but I noticed that in court, a lot of times even the grandparents can't be given the child, and that's what's sad. The CPS worker is the one that's doing the number on you. They're the ones at fault.
Mm-hmm.
They shouldn't play you on that you could adopt a child and then later change their mind. And
Yeah.
I just don't like what they're doing now. Here's my question: is the case closed or is it still open?
No. No, it's still open. It's still going
Okay,
on.
it's still going
They
on.
requested
And yeah,
ICPC.
what did they request from you?
What was that?
What did they request from you?
No, not from me. They didn't request me anything. They didn't even tell me anything. They requested ICPC for the other family in Arizona. I'm not sure what that means, but I do remember that clearly.
What is the ICP? What does that stand for again? What does it stand for?
I don't know.
It's here.
Intention to place, maybe, or
Here, tell me again slowly the letters. Go ahead.
I think it's a ICPC for the other family.
It's called the Interstate Compact on the Placement of Children. The Interstate Compact on the Placement of Children is a compact among all 50 states. The District of Columbia and the Virgin Islands provide for protection and support services for children moved between U.S. states for birth parent unification or reunification when the court has jurisdiction over the child. Somehow, the biological parents have given terminate the rights, so CPS has control of that child. So what happens? Um, the purpose of IPC is to ensure that children who are placed across states lines for foster care of adopted relative receives adequate protection and support services. That's what that means. Okay,
Okay.
okay. I don't know if that helps yet or anything like that. So they're supposedly trying to get uh, adoption out of state, which they can legally do. There's that there. And so
Mm-hmm.
um, with a 3A motion, you could have a hearing on the case. Now, when's the next hearing, by the way? Is there another hearing?
Yeah, they said in May, but I can find out, but I don't remember when.
Yeah.
But towards the end of May.
Well, you could institute a 3A motion. It should be done by an attorney. You need to make sure all parties are served. The child, by the way, has an attorney. I don't know if you knew that or not. And the social workers have
So what?
attorneys.
What was that?
The child has an
Oh, okay.
attorney that looks in his behalf.
Yeah, he has an
Right.
attorney.
And then
Yeah, I
the
actually talked
social
to her.
worker
Yeah.
has an attorney, and your partner. boy, it tells me, but I hate for you guys to invest a lot of money and then have it go sour. But um, if
Yeah.
you talk to an attorney, especially Mr. Davis, for $50, you'd only lose $50. I know it's a lot of money. I'm not trying to say it's not a waste, but that 30 minutes, Mr. Davis will tell you whether or not you have anything you can do. Um,
Okay. Okay,
so
and that's the number that you posted on.
yeah,
Eight
it's
eight eight
triple eight
eight eight eight
triple eight
five
six
eight
five
two.
eight two. Make sure you tell Mr. Davis that Bob Pace sent you, and that you tell them
Okay.
right off the bat. You got to be really clear about your partnership. To say you are two females raising a child. You want to adopt a
Mhm.
second child in your family of five. You live in a home there, and you want to know
Yeah.
um, how to. And you've been considered to be selective, but there seems to be a hiccup, and you want to know if it's possible to adopt that child. Tell him what the situation is. You got 30 minutes, and you should be able to. He will give you an answer. Okay, and
Yeah.
he's not
Okay.
far from you. You're in Carson. He's in Arcadia, so it's
Oh,
not
I
too
can.
far. It's not too far. So
I have one more question. I don't know if you can
yes.
answer
Oh
one.
no, I got times. And before you go, don't go yet. I have to answer
Yeah.
Eva. Well, first of all, Sabrina, I asked you to give me some more information, but I haven't heard anything further from you. I know it's hard and difficult to talk and everything, but I want to help you, Sabrina. If you want to be a guest on my show, you can write my producer, Grace, at vincentwdavis.com, and she'll put you on the show. I have a show tonight. I have a show twice a day, so there's always a chance. But Eva, this is a forum on CPS. The issue that you're talking about is not really for this group of people. I'm not against what you're talking about, support what you're doing, but my show has to be dealing with CPS matters. Eva, I'm not ignoring you, and I thank you for participating, but it's got to be CPS related on there. Okay, going back to you, ma'am. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So okay. So now you know how you say somehow the rights have been relinquished for the parents or whatever. What if the father wants to get involved? Like, is there any way that he can, or
Well, I don't.
um?
First, you got to see if who has the custody of the child. Does the biological mother and father still have the medical and physical rights to the child, or have they terminated their rights to the child? You need to find that out from the social worker.
Okay. Okay.
And then,
And
if they
yeah.
haven't, then he's got incarceration, and so until that's finished,
Mhm.
he can't get a job, he can't support, he can't. So it's your
Yeah.
partner's brother is pretty much a disaster for him. I mean, he's just uh, what he's got to do. Uh, well, if he hasn't given up the
If he
rights,
was to get some rights to visitation, would they be able to keep the baby here?
no, no, no. If he won't get any rights to
No.
visitation because he's incarcerated.
Mhm.
See, parents, see, we're not born with a book or a manual of how to live life. It's like we're
Mhm.
born from our parents, and we learn from our parents, and we learn from the people around us as we grow up. But there is no book
Yeah.
on how to raise children, how to handle CPS, or how to do life, even to have a relationship with somebody. There's no book. You're not born with it. It's trial and error. And I'm afraid there's good news and bad news. And I really feel for you guys out there because, I lost my daughter through neglect. And it was because of my family that was dying. I was sorting their furniture and boxes. And because they're in my home, and I didn't have money for a storage unit because I was laid off at the age of 60. And for 5 years, they battled me. And it was sad because they convinced my daughter to divorce us, my wife and I, and to seal her birth certificate and change her name. And that is wrong. That was really wrong. And I know that's what they did because my daughter was 12 at the time. She's 21 now. But I go through all those years that she's been taken from us with a really sad heart. And I know my wife feels the same. I know she feels the same. And it's really hard. I talk about it, and it. she's not forgotten. She's 21, but her brothers still visit her. I encourage my sons to visit her, and I keep asking them to ask her that her dad and mom would love to talk to her, see her, but she's so convinced that we're horrible parents, and we really weren't. That our kids were taken from us. They weren't in imminent danger, and what it was is false allegations by my in-laws,
Yep.
parents, in-laws trying to retaliate and take the children from you, and they take advantage of you when you're not working. See, that's what this whole system is based on. There's nothing that helps out poor people. Nothing that helps out poor
Yep.
people or low income people. Maybe I should use the word low income because our country is turning into a third world country. You probably think, how can our country turn? Because we have no more middle class. We have the rich and we have the poor. We don't have middle class. And the definition of a third world country is no middle class. Because with the middle class, you have jobs. And I mean, it's sad. Our country is really, really sad. And it is still the best country to be in. I wouldn't be staying here if it wasn't. And millions of people want to come in, so it must be good. But it's really, really, really sad. And one of the areas is this, child protection services, and it's gone really corrupt. It really is, and so it feeds on the poor. If they know the background of that person is poor, they say, aha, they won't afford an attorney. And it's sad because there's not enough pro bono work done by attorneys. Attorneys do pro bono. They do. I know that some attorneys may do 10 cases a year in pro bono, meaning where they take on a case to help them out. And so it is really, really, really hard out there. Um, so I guess since your case is still open, there's still hope for you, but the hope is going to be
Mhm.
limited if you don't get a chance to speak. And since you're a silent partner in this thing, so you and your partner should be together going to those court hearings, together
Mhm.
talking to the social worker. If just she's talking to the social
Yeah.
worker, they don't look at you. If you're a partnership, a
Mhm.
partner means you do everything together. You do everything together.
Mhm.
And so I feel for you because it's so frustrating to hear these words because you want some magic hope, and I wish I could wave a wand and make it happen, but it is hard. It is hard. I don't want you to give
Yeah.
up.
And you
I
should
don't want you
try.
to
That's all
give
I say
up
about it.
because you sound like a caring person and you're taking care of it. How old is the child you're taking care of?
Our big child is 13.
13. So, and how long have you had her?
Mhm.
How long have you had her?
How long have we been together?
Yeah, have you had her? Yes. Did you?
14 years. We've been together 14 years.
So you've had her since birth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
Yeah. I met her when she was
the
14.
only parents that she knows of is you and your partner, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So that's great. I'm glad you have a relationship because it must be really hard for you to talk about relationships and partnerships and fathers and mothers.
Mhm. Yeah. Um. Yeah. So I'm a call number, and I'm gonna see. Hopefully, you can help us. They can let us know. Like, what is put us in a direction because like I've read some of your podcasts, and then people are like, I'm lost. I don't know what to do, and that's how we are right now.
Oh, okay.
And but
Well,
I
I'm
feel
sorry
a
if
little
I'm
bit
not
better, and
Yeah. Well, you have a case as unique. You're my first person I've talked to that are a partnership. I mean, a partnership of the same sex. I should say that because there are a lot of partnerships
mhm,
of opposite sex that live together with a child. But you're the first one, which I think is great because I'm open to anybody that has a problem with CPS to help them and steer them in the right direction. And you know,
yeah,
getting an attorney is one of the most important things. And I had to sell my home. I had to lose all my savings. I mean, I went bankrupt. I've been there. I've lived in my car for a period of time. It was an RX-7, and you can imagine how small those cars are. And
oh
so
yeah, the
it
three
was
doors.
it was really 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 hard. And so um wow, wow is right. I guess wow is so right. Um boy
Yeah.
boy. So I don't want you to give up hope. I have about 5 minutes left of the show. What other questions that you have that maybe I haven't answered I can help you with?
Um. Well. Um. Just the brother. If he would be able to maybe to get any rides or to help us
Yeah.
maybe here, be
Well,
able
you
to
need to
like
call to
yeah.
establish the children. Who has custody of the children? It's a simple question. You can ask right now, social, and they
Yeah. I
may
think
lie to you.
CPS does.
Yeah, they may lie to
Yeah.
you, but you could ask it. Does the brother still have um, medical rights and education rights? Those are the last two that even if you um, our child's taken from you, long as you have your educational and your medical rights to your child, that means your rights have not been terminated. So um,
Okay.
that's something you need to find out. And if they're not, you could present that why can't the biological father let CPS explain it to you better than I'm explaining it to you? Because being incarcerated is really going to be tough. It's going to be tough. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Thanks for help. Thanks for your advice, and I'm a good number, and I'm gonna see
yeah,
if
well, I'd want you to know. I want
I
an
got
update. I
anything.
want you to be able to call back or be a guest on my show again because I want to hear the update. I want to hear how that's handling. I'm sorry at first it took me a while to understand what you're describing because you know your case. I don't. I have to learn it from the beginning, and so it is out there. But I,
Yeah,
I
I will. I will. I'll
okay.
update you guys
All right.
when
I'm
once
going to
we
talk a
see
few
what
minutes
happens.
before I sign off. You're welcome to stay on the phone and listen. And if you have a question that comes up in the next 3 minutes, I'll try to answer it. To all my listeners, including the people that are texting in and so forth, I don't want you to give up. I want you to keep trying for your children. I know how important your family is and everything. And John, John, you want me to drive you? Okay. And so, sorry, that's a family member. I'm broadcasting this from my home. So, anyway, there are two other rules that I didn't mention. One was the rule about having a notebook. You need to have this written down. I did a bad mistake and didn't write anything down. I couldn't remember it 6 months, 2 years. My case was 3 years. So it's important you write in the notebook the date and time of the incident on the one line, and then followed by the people that are involved, two social workers, the policemen, or if you know their names, write them in. And then the second line or third line, you want to put down the incident, describing what the incident was. Was the incident, um, related to taking away your child or coming to the office? You need to write all the incidents that happened, and then you want to write the outcome. How did the outcome work? How did the incident get resolved? And you may not know that right away. You may have to come back later and finish in the the what do you want to say it? The the outcome or like this. Then skip a couple lines, put the next incident, and so forth. And you should have that notebook devoted to CPS matters. If you learn something, write it down. If you learn, listen to my show, write it down. It's important to have it all centralized in one notebook that you can do it. And you can use, if you have a notebook computer or laptop computer or whatever, you can do it. You can do it on your phone if your way of tracking notes. It's just hard to do on those instruments because they're so small. And it seems like the old fashioned way of a notebook and a piece of paper is still the best way. I don't care how much they make computers friendly. You can only see so much on the screen. With a notebook, you can see the whole notebook at once. And so, anyway, that's rule number two. And then rule number three is do not talk to social workers, do not talk to police, do not let them go into your home, and don't let them take your children. They need a warrant to do so. Children should never be taken, and they use that. The CPS are bad about doing that. So remember, don't talk to them because it'll get you more into trouble. And so I did, and I did a mistake. And as rule number one, I said get an attorney. So with that being said, God bless you all. Thank you, Eva. Thank you, Sabrina. Thank you, uh, I forgot your first name. What was your first name? Castillo, I think it was. Thank you for being my guest on the show from Carson, California.
Oh,
Ellie. Thank you, Ellie. I'm sorry, Ellie.
Ellie.
Thank you, Ellie.
I
And
didn't know you were talking to me.
yeah, that's okay, Ellie. Thank you. And
Okay, thanks so much.
you know, and you take care, Ellie. I'm going to sign off. This is Bob Pace. God bless, and it's signing off.